Friends, Bree here with Unite for Lives, where our mission is to prevent forced and pressured abortions by empowering women to choose life. So today I'm going to be sharing a woman's story. She had an abortion and it caused a lot of emotional, psychological impacts on her. It impacted her in a very negative way. And I want to share her story as well as many others so that people can really understand the risks of abortion. And I want women to be fully equipped and fully aware of the potential risks of abortion before coming to a decision. And again, this is something that the abortion industry and mainstream media don't really talk about much, and it's very important because the effects are tragic, as we're about to read here. So I'm going to read her story. I'm going to leave out personal details and all that, but she did give me permission to at least share the story. So here we go. I don't talk about this much because it brings me such shame. In September 2019, I found out I was pregnant. I had been with my fiance at the time for 2 years. I was 25, both with good paying jobs. We rented a big farmhouse that had empty bedrooms to be filled. I was excited. We had talked about this since we first met. He was not happy. He never wanted me to be pregnant, and he didn't want me to carry the pregnancy through. He started to become even more mentally and emotionally abusive. Would tell me all day, every day, how selfish I am for debating keeping the baby. I'm just going to mess them up. I'll be a horrible mom. He was going to leave me and move back home to England. I'd never be able to afford or be able to handle raising the baby alone. He would say he had this plane booked and he would pack his bags. So, pause real quick. There obviously we see that this man is pressuring her to have an abortion. Terrible thing to do. In the end, I gave in and did as he wanted. I cried every day leading up to September 9th. This just breaks my heart because in my story as well, I cried every day leading up for my abortion. Anyway, I still remember every detail, the pain it felt to have it done. I remember screaming and crying the whole time. They don't tell you that. They don't warn you, oh, also, during your abortion, you might be screaming and crying the whole time. Come on now. The doctors all knew I was anxious and unsure if I wanted to follow through. And instead of giving me other options, they gave me anxiety medication and then continued with the procedure. I regretted it from the moment I even entertained the idea of having one. I can relate to that. Never in my heart did I feel the want to do this, but I'm too weak and I can't stand up for myself. I've never been able to. I have never been the same since. All I do is think about my baby. Was it a girl or a boy? Who would they be today? And how special our bond would have been. The story continues. From it just being the two of us. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of my baby. My ex and I broke up shortly after the abortion. I couldn't look at him the same or myself. September 2nd, 2020, it was my birthday, and it was leading up to the year mark of the abortion. I woke up so panicked I threw up every day from September 2nd until September 10th. My mental health had slipped, and I had never struggled this hard with panic attacks. I missed work that whole week and pretty much stayed in bed. I met my now husband a few days after September 10th, and he was the first person I spoke to about the abortion. We would find out we were pregnant in due September 2021. That was bittersweet for me. All I could think about was my first baby. I obsessed over all of it. All I could think was how my baby would feel if they knew I aborted them, but not this baby. I'm crying just reading this. Oh my gosh. The guilt ate me away, and I didn't enjoy my pregnancy. When it came to having birth, I had planned for a natural water birth, but I ended up in the hospital with an emergency C-section. When I was in the hospital during labor, I had multiple panic attacks when they would examine me. It brought me right back to the day I had an abortion, laying there with a bunch of strangers touching me. No one understood why I was having panic attacks. My doctor and midwives all came and made me feel ashamed and did nothing to help. I am now pregnant again, and I'm still so scared, and I am obsessing over my abortion again and the guilt. Will these feelings ever go away? Whenever I look at my baby boy, I feel so much love. Then I start to think about my poor baby that I will never meet and how I don't deserve to be a mom. I wish I could hold my little one in my arms. and tell them how sorry mommy is and how much I love them. That brought up a lot of emotions, and I'm sorry I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because it's funny. That's just unfortunately how I process my emotions, is I just laugh. But yeah, so that story is so tragic, and there are so many stories just like that. And it's something that women ought to be aware of. And I mean, this woman is still suffering even in her, continual pregnancies. It's not like the healing process is long after abortion. And so I hope we can really share this video and enlighten the world and community members that pressuring women to abort is not okay, and it can lead to some devastating effects. And one thing I also really want to note is how the doctors and the people in the abortion clinic, doctors, I don't know if that's what they are, but they just gave her anxiety medicine, and this is why I am on a mission to create a law where abortion clinics must have an outside organization such as Unite for Lives in the clinic to ensure that women are not being pressured, because it's a conflict of interest. If they're the ones making sure that the woman isn't being pressured, well, they're getting paid. So that's a major conflict of interest. So hoping and praying that, God moves for that and brings me people to help me with the lawmaking process, because I don't know how that works. But that is a huge vision for Unite for Lives, is creating this law where abortion clinics must have an outside organization to make sure that the woman is not being pressured. All right, thanks for listening to this very intense and heavy story. Prayers up for this woman, prayers for all the women out there who are suffering from abortion trauma. If you need help, Serena with shefoundhisgrace.org is a wonderful organization to help with that. And please don't pressure women to abort. If you know a woman who is feeling pressured, let her contact us, and we will help her with resources and help her, encourage her, and empower her to choose life. All right, like the channel, subscribe, share the video, all those wonderful things. If you feel inclined to donate, please do so. Your money is going to help women keep their babies and also help me possibly create a law where organizations like UFL has to ensure that women are not being pressured, so we can protect women from suffering from these tragic effects. I want to end these stories, like the story that I just shared. I want to make sure those stories don't happen anymore. So if you really love women and you love babies, then yeah, consider uniting with me. You can reach me at uniteforlives@gmail.com. All right, and you can visit our website too, uniteforlives.com. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.